to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Formerly Governor's Pizza, DBA Bloom's Pizza.
So everything is in the packet in front of you. Everything is in order. Lorna, as always, has done a really nice job putting it together. The new owner, I believe Gigi, is with us, and therefore she can answer any questions that you may have. And then at the end, we would ask you to award the license as presented.
Okay. Hi, Gigi. How are you?
Hi, how are you? Nice
Hi.
to see everyone tonight.
Thank you for joining us. So tell us a little bit about your plans.
So I'm planning on opening a pizza shop, a family neighborhood pizzeria. And I'm just going to bring all my lifelong recipes that I've grown up with, and hopefully everybody loves it. I'll be there 24/7. My parents will be helping me. I have 2 teenage daughters. They'll be working, my sister-in-law, so it's going to be a whole family affair, but we just want to have like a really positive vibe. We want to be a good part of the community, and I don't know what else you want to know.
Is this
Make
your
good
first
pizza.
restaurant? Is this your first venture into a restaurant?
This is my own venture into a restaurant. So I grew up making pizzas since I was born, basically. And I worked in a few different pizza shops that my family owned. And then when my dad retired 10 years ago, I came and I'm the general manager at a large Italian restaurant. It's called Luciano's.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here now. I'm here all the time. But when I saw the chance to do this on my own and start something, you know, for myself, for my future, for my family, I'm taking the opportunity. So I'm training. I'm almost done training everyone, and I'm just going to give my full attention to this starting on Monday and try and tie everything up. I've been working on it for a while now, and I just want to cross every T, dot every I. I want to do everything the right way. I was taught to do everything the right way. So if there's anything that I ever need to do, you can reach me directly. My number's on there. Yeah, so I'm excited.
Sounds good. Anthony, do you have any questions?
No questions. Excited to hear everything out there.
Mary?
Yeah, I don't have any questions. I'm excited to try out the new restaurant. Congratulations and best of luck to you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, well, we certainly wish you the best. We'll call for a vote.
I'll
Is there
make
a
a
motion?
motion to approve the common vic license.
Is there a second?
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That's unanimous.
It is, and I will say this, Luciano's in Rentham, is that where you were?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's excellent. So if it's just like that, that's gonna be
Yeah,
fantastic.
I have all the support from Luciano. He's so sad. He keeps telling me he's gonna miss me, but he understands that, you know, he did the same thing. So I'm just trying to follow in his footsteps, you know?
Well, we wish you the very best.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so is it a yes?
Yeah, it's a yes. You're all set.
All right, thank you.
It's definite yes. You sold us. You
Oh,
definitely
thank
sold
you.
us.
I'm excited. I hope to see everyone in there. I'll make a big announcement so that you all know to stop by.
Okay. Thank you for joining us. Best
You're welcome. Should I
Congrats.
sign off now?
Excuse me?
Should I sign off now?
Unless you want to hear this whole meeting. Probably
I have a
don't.
lot of work to do, so I'll let you guys carry on without me. I think it's in good.
Okay. Have a good
All right,
evening.
thanks so much. Have a good evening, everyone.
Thank you.
too.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. It's 6:45. I think we can go ahead and proceed with the next appointment.
Yeah, because
Okay.
it's not a public hearing, correct? And I believe that anybody who's gonna join us is here with us.
Okay. All right. So this is the Samoset Rod and Gun Club, 350 Matfield Street, change of manager request. And who do we have on with us?
Yeah, Mike Kaminsky.
Mark Maldonado's here.
David?
Yep, so Mr. Kaminsky is with us because he's on the board at the club, just in case you have any questions, although I think you all might. Samoset, just a standard change of manager request from one person to the other. We asked the police department to do their background check, which they did. They have found no reason why Mr. Maldonado cannot be the manager of record. So he is here because sometimes in the past, you've wanted to say hi to the manager of record. But other than that, we would just ask that you take a vote to change the manager to Mr. Mark Maldonado, subject to any all final paperwork that is pending.
Okay. Any questions?
I do not. I'll make a motion to approve the change in management as presented.
Second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, just remember we have to do a roll call vote.
You're entirely right.
So why don't we do a roll call vote on this, and then we'll have to go back and do duties. So
Kinahan, yes.
Yes.
did you say Anderson, yes?
Anderson, yes.
Okay, it's breaking up a little bit. Sorry about that, Mary. Raise yes. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, that's a unanimous vote. Thank you for joining us.
All right, that's all you need out of us, Denise?
That's unless you want to tell us something.
No, just come in for pizza.
All right.
Okay, well,
All right,
All
have a
right.
nice
Thank
night.
you.
thank
All right. Have a good night. Be
Have a good
safe.
night.
Thank you.
Okay, so if we could step back a minute and just redo the vote for GHOP LLC, the application. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Kinahan, yes.
Anderson, yes.
Raise yes. That's unanimous. Okay. Move on to Warren's Board of Selectmen's business. We need to vote on the annual license renewals.
Yep, so before you, all of these licenses are good for 1 year from January 1st to December 31st of every year. Again, Lauren does an excellent job. She contacts all the vendors. They've committed most of their paperwork. Again, their current license expires at the end of the month, so you're taking a vote, or to ask you to take a vote, that you would award all license renewals as presented, subject to final documentation and any final inspections.
Okay. Are there any questions or comments about the licenses that are being presented?
No.
No.
No? Okay. All right, is there a motion?
There's a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Kinahan, yes.
Anderson, yes.
Raise yes. Unanimous. Okay. Approve town administrator's contract. David, that would be you.
It is, so in executive session at the last meeting, we discussed the fact that we are asking all our unions and non-union employees to take a 0% this year, regardless if they were under contract or not. With COVID, I was under contract. I want to lead by example, so although I was entitled to a raise this year, I asked the board if they could rewrite my contract where I would receive 0% this year and then receive 2% in the years 2 and 3, which is consistent with the other contract. You approved in executive session. You must approve it in open session. Again, only because I wanted to try to, I asked the HR director to email it to all three of you a couple of days ago with all the changes so that way you would see it. There are no other changes to the contract.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve as presented.
Second.
All those in favor?
Kinahan, yes.
Anderson, yes.
Raise yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Approve the minutes of November 18th, 2020. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Kinahan, yes.
Anderson, yes.
Raise yes. That's unanimous. Accept the minutes, the meeting minutes of December 2nd, 2020.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, Madam Chairwoman, just want to let you know, those minutes have not been finalized, so I'm asking
Okay.
just to table it.
Okay, so we will table that. Approve Southeastern Regional Services Group DPW Services Awards.
So, the Board of Selectmen, every single year, we are part of a procurement consortium in Southeast Massachusetts, working with 23 communities. I am the vice chairperson of that group. We go out to bid for all of our services, including DPW services. We get to save a bunch of money and make sure that we also are adhering to all procurement laws. So before you is our annual renewal for DPW services. So again, I would ask you to award it as presented.
Any questions?
I have a question for David. David, I plan to vote on this, but do I need to make a mention that my husband is on the DPW and that I'll be voting on this? However, it has no financial or personal impact to me, and I feel that I can give a fair a vote on it.
Okay, I think the fact that you disclose that, I think would be sufficient.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Right, is there a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Seconded.
All right, all those in favor?
Kinahan, yes?
Anderson, yes?
Raise yes. It's unanimous. Vote on street lighting request, poll number 14, Brooks Place.
So Brooks Place, a fairly new road, along with the new road that's also been built up there, Luke Drive. And there is no street light. It is a residential area. And so we have a process. The resident contacts our department. Lorna then forwards that person over to the street lighting committee. They review it, they go and see it. The person that's the chair of that is also a police officer. They concur that it's dark. I've also inspected the area as well. Given the fact that we do it, it's a residential area with a lot of bikes and kids playing, it's just wise to put a street light there. So we would ask the Board of Selectmen to approve it.
Any questions?
No,
Yes.
I make a motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Kinahan, yes?
Anderson, yes?
Raise yes. Unanimous. Award generator maintenance contract to Cummins Sales and Service.
So we have a handful of generators throughout the entire town for all of our municipal buildings. And we've had a hodgepodge of companies through the years servicing them. In addition, our assistant vehicle superintendent also performed some service on it as well. So we thought it would be better to be able to streamline it, have one company, be able to order parts from one person, and make sure that we were getting the most effective use of our dollars. So the DPW director, along with the assistant superintendent, Tom Souza, had made this recommendation. We've also contacted all the department heads. We then got bids from multiple vendors. And at this point, we would ask, it's gonna be a 3-year contract, and we would ask the Board of Selectmen to award this maintenance contract to Cummins Sales and Service.
Any questions?
Nope. I'll make a motion to approve.
Second?
I will second, as long as I can say that I'm again just renewing my statement as before. This is DPW, no personnel effect on us.
Okay. All those in favor?
Kinahan, yes?
Anderson, yes?
Raise yes. It's unanimous. Communications and reports from boards, commissions, and town officials. David, you don't have anything?
I do not.
No, okay. Correspondence from the public to determine a course of action. Do we have anything from the public to review? Okay, public comment period. No public here. Town administrators report. David?
Thank you. So, as we do every single week, we talk about COVID-19. We all have fatigue, I understand that, but just to keep everybody up to speed, we meet in the Board of Health, review the cases on a weekly basis, and every Tuesday we post. This past Tuesday, we had 40 new cases in town. That was on top of the 43 that we received last week. So obviously, we're still spiking. We've had just under 200 cases year to date. So that means 80% of all our cases came within the past 2 weeks. No doubt, due mostly to Thanksgiving with people being able to see family. As a result, many town halls, including this one here, we made a decision to close to the public the town hall, the council on aging, and the library. I had a conversation with the director of the council on aging and the library, and they both understood. I also had a meeting with a handful of department heads here at town hall, and they felt that it was the appropriate action as well. And then I also had a conversation with the police chief, fire chief, and DPW director and assistant director to make sure that we had the appropriate protocols in place to keep everybody safe as we move forward during the colder months of the year. So at this point, this building is closed to the public. All employees are still reporting to work, and if customers, they are able to do business either online, by check, or drop off in the mailbox. Like the mailbox.
What's the expectation tomorrow with the storm?
So I was gonna go over that, but I'll go over it now.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. So the latest is that this is gonna be a pretty good storm. It looks like we are now in the 12 to 18 inch rain, 12 to 18 inch snowstorm pocket. It also apparently looks like we're going to get some rain or mixture during that process as well. So that's problematic because, to be honest with you, that becomes pretty heavy snow. We try to move 15 inches of wet snow, that's difficult. In addition to that, it brings down trees and power lines. So earlier today, again, I met with the DPW director and assistant DPW director. I made sure that, we had plenty of salt. They say all their trucks are gassed and ready, and they do an excellent job. They make sure that everybody is well prepared. All the trucks are well prepared. They're well maintained. Everything is gassed. They're ready to go. I also then met with the COA director and the two chiefs, or the deputy chief of the fire department, and we make sure our shelter is going to be available at the Council on Aging, so that anybody need it. I would ask anybody listening to this, just dial 911 or to call the local police number, 508-894-2525. You will receive dispatch of police. Police will reach out to the Council on Aging at that point. If it hasn't been open, we'll open it. There'll be food there. There'll be shelter there. We will have, we have plenty of PPE such as gloves and masks and hand sanitizer. We could fit about 25 people there, social distancing, allowing them to sleep overnight if they would lose power and those types of things. We can accommodate more because in theory, if somebody comes from a household, they can stay within 6 feet of each other.
Right.
So the Council on Aging is ready. We're prepared. The chiefs are prepared. The DPW department is prepared. The storm looks like it'll move in a couple of hours. We'll really get ramped up in the middle of the night. And unfortunately, again, the winds, 40-mile-an-hour winds, that's what's expected. So it's a double whammy because not only will that bring down lines and trees, especially with wet snow, National Grid and all the other utilities will not go up in the air with a bucket truck because it's unsafe.
Right.
So that means we may, if you lose power and you potentially lose heat, you could be out of it for a couple of days. So that's why it was important for us to all get together today and make sure that we were well prepared to be able to help out if we need to.
Do we usually exceed 25 people speaking?
We do
No.
not.
Okay.
We do not. Russo property. So as you all know, we bought Russo property. I stop by there worst case every 2 weeks, but usually every week. I like to walk the property, make sure that there's no shenanigans going on, because obviously we have liability for what's on there now. There's an old building, there's an RV, there's a whole bunch of unusable stuff is the correct term, I guess the best term to use. So when we go to the Recreational Space Committee, we're going to have to make a recommendation at town meeting in a few years as to what we want to put there. And say we're going to spend a couple of $1 million to develop it. As part of that money, I always envisioned that we were going to have to then clean up the property. And that's going to cost some money. In the meantime, we've had somebody come to us say that if at no charge, they would take everything off that property, which is a huge win for us. Because one, I don't have to spend any money to do it. And two, is that instead of waiting a couple of years to get to that point, if they do it now, then it reduces all that liability because there's no structures there for people to hide out or play in or whatever. So I think that's a huge win. So as part of our procurement process, I reached out to the original owner. He told me what the value of everything there was, a couple of $1,000 at best. He said $1,500 to $2,000. It would cost me more than $2,000 to actually dispose of it. So if I can get somebody just to pick it up, haul it all out, and make it all disappear, I think that's great. So I'm asking the board to declare all that property on Lincoln Street as surplus property, and then we will dispose of it accordingly.
Okay, that will require a vote.
Please.
Okay. Any questions or comments regarding that?
No.
Is there a motion to declare this surplus property?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Kenny yes?
Anderson, yes.
Raised, yes. That's unanimous.
And then in that same spirit will be in reference to the old generator at the DPW. We purchased a new generator this past year because this one here is over 30 years old. And was one of the same when we procured it, it was also already used. So it's pretty old, can't get parts for it anymore. And it didn't have the capacity to handle all the needs of 21st century buildings. So we replaced that. Now we have to get rid of the old one. So again, I'm just gonna ask you to take a vote to designate this as surplus property.
Any questions or comments? Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Kenny yes?
Anderson, yes.
Raised, yes.
And the last on the agenda is just really an FYI, letting you know and letting everybody else know that there are going to be some modifications to hours going forward. The Council on Aging is closed to the public anyway. However, they do some outdoor lunch programs, so you can see in front of you that they will have some amended hours due to the holiday. Christmas falls on a Friday this year, so New Year's Eve, Christmas Eve, everybody closes early like normal. It will be closed on those days. And again, I just wanted to take this opportunity. You know, this has been a tough year, right? So, but I just, since it's our last meeting, I just also want to just take the opportunity to say, you know, Merry Christmas to the board, to Lorna, to all the residents, Happy Holidays. It's been trying, but I think, you know, we're in the worst of it right now, which means that actually things gonna get better sometime in the near future.
Yeah.
So, but again, you know, Happy Holidays to you guys. Thank you for
Thank
everything you do. And, thank you.
So this is our last meeting of the year, and it's not been a great year. It's been a troubling year, but as usual, we stuck together as a town and we've had our share of successes. So as a board, we want to wish everyone happy holidays, Merry Christmas. Hope you and your families are safe and happy. Want to send out a special wish for a very Merry Christmas to Jace Russell, a little boy in town who's had some health issues, and the town has really joined together to make it a special year for Jace. So if Jace is listening, which I'm sure he's not, but I hope he hears that, we wish him a very Merry Christmas, and to all of West Bridgewater as well. We are going to go into executive session, so unless there's any comments or concerns beforehand, I'll read the notice to go into executive session. Okay. I would entertain a motion to enter into executive session, not to return to open session for purposes of conducting a strategy session in preparation for negotiations with non-union personnel, specifically the fire chief. This will require a roll call vote.
Kenny yes?
Anderson, yes.
Raise yes. At this point, open session is closed and we are moving into executive session. Thank you.